Good morning, anyone watching. Obviously, I am back out on the bike. It's Saturday morning, 9:35 on March 27th. Saturday morning, it's 57 degrees. And it's such a nice day that I decided I wanted to get a quick ride in this morning before my wife and I start running our errands today. So I'm just going to take a ride, not to see any particular point of interest, but more just to get out on the bike and go for a ride. I'm on Bayshore Rd right now, heading up towards the villas. I'm going to go up, I think it's, might be Fishing Creek Road, or forget the name of it, but the road that takes me up on the other side of the Cape May Airport. Wind around the back side of the airport and come back down Railroad Road. It's a little more chilly here today than it was yesterday. Yesterday it got up into the low to mid 70s. I don't think it's going to break 60 today, but it's still a beautiful day for it being March. No, this is Fishing Creek Road coming in here, so it's not Fishing Creek that I'm going to turn at. The library over there on the corner, and that's one of our stops today. My wife is a vociferous reader. Probably reads 2 books a week, 2 novels a week. And I know this ride does not necessarily contain any specific point of interest, but I wanted to come out for a ride just for my own enjoyment, and I thought I would record the ride and put it on YouTube for anyone that just would like to see what it's like riding around on this beautiful Saturday morning. This is the airport. There's a driving range up here on the left, right there, and you can see the signs they have of politicians at various yard markers. So you can take aim at your favorite politician and try to hit them with your golf ball. Politicians of both parties' photographs are portrayed, so that it's a nonpartisan sort of appeal. Oh, Fulling Mill is the name of this road, by the way. I called it Fishing Creek, but it's Fulling Mill. And this is, I think as you saw, this is Route 47, Delsey Drive, and I've mentioned this before, and anyone that is local would obviously know this, but if not, for those that aren't local, this road, if I stayed straight on it, would cross over underneath the Garden State Parkway and go over into Wildwood, right in the heart of Wildwood. And maybe, if time permits, later today, maybe I'll take a ride over to Wildwood. It's been over a month since I rode my bike over there. Hawk Haven Winery is coming up on my right there. It's one of the nicer wineries down here. I mentioned on the video yesterday that my wife and I went over to Sapori restaurant for dinner last night and drove around town, and also I rode through town on my ride yesterday, and you can really start to see, I don't know if this is good or bad, but you can really start to see many more people walking around without wearing a mask. And you know, I'm not going to get into all of the, you know, socio-political aspects of whether that's good or bad. It is what it is. It's just an observation that I made. In the fall, when I would go for my walks over on the promenade in Cape May, virtually everybody was wearing a mask. Everybody. For months, I think I could count on one hand the number of people I saw that were not wearing a mask when I was out on my walk. But yesterday on my ride and last night over in town, I would say about 50-50 was the relationship of people wearing a mask to not wearing a mask. I still think all the businesses require a mask to enter, so it's not that, you know, people are going into businesses without wearing a mask or not wearing a mask to enter a restaurant, but just walking around town or walking along the beach, people were, half of the people were not wearing a mask. And I think it's a combination of factors, I believe. Number one, even without the pandemic, at the end of winter, even though this was really a mild winter down here, it was not a severe winter by any means, but still the first day of spring that is really nice, like it was yesterday in the mid-70s, I think there's just a normal cabin fever influence that people are just out and about and enjoying the outdoors, walking around the Washington Street Mall, walking along the beach, you know, and that would be the case, you know, even absent COVID. But then you couple that with people having been quarantined for so long that it sort of all came together yesterday, and people down here were really really out and enjoying the weather. And I think they, you know, a lot of them probably either were vaccinated or maybe even had COVID and had the antibodies, so they felt they felt much safer being out without a mask. is Cold Springs. Back, I just passed a little bit. I should have pointed it out on my left. And this is our favorite winery right here, Cape May Winery. All the wineries are nice, but this one is our favorite. And this is the church that we'll go to tonight. I was going to say bingo when that yellow Volkswagen passed me, but to understand why I was going to say bingo, you would have had to have watched my video yesterday where I explained the game that we call bingo with my grandkids. My granddaughter Madison actually is the one that I think made that up. But maybe not. Maybe she got it from one of her friends. And I'm basically back to where I began this ride. But instead of turning the camera off now, I think I'm going to just continue straight down Townbank Rd here that I'm on to the bay. And I'll stop the video then. As I mentioned yesterday, I always ride along the bay every time I'm on the bike, and today's no exception. I rode along the bay to go up to where I started this video. And I think I will include in the video my ride back along the bay. And for anyone that's watching at this point, I know these videos are long because I do not know how, nor would I necessarily care to edit them. I like to record the rides that I take down here, and that's what these videos are, an unedited recording of individual rides that I take in and around this area. Looks like ferry's coming in. So I'm going to stop this video and go home and post it. It was a ride around Townbank, and just a beautiful day. Hope if you watched it you enjoyed the ride and enjoy this view of the Delaware Bay.